Right, let's dive into this explainer. We're going to trace how a desperate scramble to fund one single music video completely dismantled the old Hollywood machine and essentially birthed the modern, multi-platform celebrity. It's a fascinating journey, and it connects the dots between a pop music panic, the birth of home video, and the social media feeds you scroll through every single day.
To really wrap our heads around this massive cultural shift, we have to rewind to 1983 and look at this shocking number, $900,000. At the time, that was an absolutely unprecedented budget for Michael Jackson's 13-minute thriller short film. Director John Landis and Jackson wanted to make a mini-movie, complete with complex dance rehearsals, legendary makeup, and full-blown special effects. But there was a major catch.
So how exactly do you pay for a music video that costs almost $1 million? The record label certainly wasn't going to just hand over that kind of cash for a promotional clip. When Michael Jackson and John Landis hit this roadblock, they stumbled onto a total accident that would change media history forever. They needed a hack.
Section 1. The Thriller VHS Revolution. Let's look at how this massive financial headache created an entirely new, highly lucrative documentary genre that forever altered our relationship with the stars.
The fix? A producer suggested they shoot a documentary about the making of the video just to sell the broadcasting rights to television networks to recoup the cash. Director John Landis literally joked and called it the making of filler. He thought it was just a cheap cash grab to get Thriller made. He had absolutely no idea what they were about to unleash.
Because the hack worked perfectly. MTV paid $250,000 for documentary rights. Showtime dropped $300,000. The record label pitched in another $100,000. But the real game changer was the VHS release. Selling the making of Michael Jackson's Thriller on a $29.95 VHS tape wasn't just balancing the books. It pulled in over 100,000 advanced orders alone. It was a massive commercial triumph that proved audiences were absolutely ravenous for backstage access. Suddenly, the making of, the art, was just as valuable as the art itself.
Moving to Section 2, Home Video, changes everything. This brings us directly to the profound economic shifts triggered by the home video revolution, which gave power back to the audience in a way Hollywood had never seen before.
The crucial point here is that VHS empowered you, the viewer, to curate your own experience. Think about it. In the old theatrical era, you watched what the studios told you to watch, exactly when they told you to watch it. It was a one-time event. But the home video era, that changed the whole shebang. Suddenly, you're building a personal library. You can pause, rewind, and rewatch your favorites. It completely democratized distribution for independent filmmakers who bypassed theatrical gatekeepers entirely, giving rise to cult classics. The audience was finally in the driver's seat.
Which brings us to Section 3, Rise of the Making of. As audiences built up these personal libraries, studios realized they could monetize the creative process itself. Academics actually have a fancy term for this phenomenon, meta-cinema. As scholar Fernando Canet defines it, it's basically cinema looking at itself in the mirror. The making of acts as a meta-representational practice. It isn't just a long commercial anymore, it's a documentary that shows the magic behind the curtain, letting filmmakers reflect on their craft while satisfying our deep, deep desire to see behind the illusion. If we track this timeline, it's wild to see how behind-the-scenes footage evolved. It started way back in the 1920s with these simple, tiny promotional studio tidbits called screen snapshots. But fast forward to the 1980s VHS boom, fueled by massive successes like Thriller, and it's suddenly a thoroughly commercialized juggernaut. By the 2000s, DVD sales actually relied heavily on these bonus extras. And today, streaming platforms bake all those supplemental materials right into their interfaces because our appetite for the real story is basically insatiable.
On to Section 4, the star system disrupted. This newfound obsession with seeing backstage, combined with some major legal shifts in the industry, helped shatter the old, manufactured rules of fame.
To really appreciate how much things changed, think about the old world for a second. The classical Hollywood star system from the 1920s to the 1960s was basically an assembly line. Studios owned the actors. They fabricated entire personas from scratch, literally changing Archibald Leach into Cary Grant. They invented fake pack stories, enforced strict morality clauses, and even arranged sham dates for fake tabloid PR. It was complete, top-down control. But then, the 1940 Paramount decision by the Supreme Court killed those studio monopolies, ushering in the free agent system. Now, actors weren't owned by anyone. They had to manage their own careers, hire independent PR professionals, and deal with direct journalism. This totally set the stage for stars who had to figure out how to actively sell their own personas to niche markets, rather than relying on a studio boss to invent one for them.
Section 5, Celebrities as Intertextual Texts.
Okay, let's dive into how modern celebrities actually pull this off today, in an era where we demand to see the making of everything. According to modern media scholars like Marwick and Boyd, celebrity isn't some magical aura or innate quality you're just born with. Not at all. It is an active, ongoing performance. It's a daily grind of gaining and maintaining attention for a very specific, carefully crafted version of yourself. To truly decode modern fame, we have to talk about a concept called intertextuality. As Jonathan Gray defines it, texts don't exist in a vacuum. Applied to Hollywood, it simply means that a modern celebrity is just a massive collection of different texts. A movie role over here, a tweet there, a magazine interview somewhere else. None of them are the full picture. They only make sense when you put all the puzzle pieces together to form the overall persona. Let's look at artist Cardi B as a perfect practical example of this. We clearly see intertextuality in action when we map her across different platforms. Her music videos project extreme wealth, status, and power. But then you read a W magazine interview, and she's vulnerable, opening up about the struggles of motherhood and relationships. Then you jump over to her social media, and she's unfiltered, hilarious, and completely raw. None of these are the whole person, but woven together, they create one incredibly marketable, unified, intertextual product.
And social media just puts this intertextual performance on steroids. Stars can totally bypass traditional interviews now. They build a persona through public recognition, engaging directly with fans to show they're available. They build affiliation by speaking the exact same slang as their community. They manufacture intimacy by dropping little personal details. And above all, they perform authenticity, sometimes by intentionally sharing messy, unvetted, off-the-cuff thoughts or mistakes. It feels incredibly real, but remember, it's still a carefully managed text.
But here's the kicker. This intertextual relationship is a two-way street. You, the audience, have a massive say. Take a study of the Tiger Woods infidelity scandal. Traditional media tried to frame the event neutrally, calling it a personality flaw or an addiction, but audiences took to the comment sections to actively debate and fiercely enforce conservative relationship norms. We now actively use celebrity drama as a sounding board to project and debate our own societal values.
Look at how far we've come. We started in a world of untouchable, mysterious studio stars, completely locked behind theatrical schedules and manufactured perfection. And now, kicked off by the home video revolution and a frantic scramble to fund a Michael Jackson music video, we've arrived in a new world. You demand to see behind the curtain. We all consume celebrities as these complex, interconnected, intimate texts where authenticity itself is the ultimate product being sold. Which leaves us with one final, pretty provocative question about the media we consume every single day. If we know that these making-of documentaries and raw social media posts are still part of a carefully managed PR strategy, is today's celebrity actually authentic? Or is authenticity simply the newest manufactured text we've all agreed to buy into? Think about that the next time you're scrolling your feed. Thanks for joining me on this explainer. I'll catch you next time.